You need to get past this one thing in trading, and then you'll become insanely profitable. And I'm going to tell you what that thing is in a second. Wow, this is going to be one of the shortest videos I ever made. Well, not really. I've still got loads to tell you, loads of information with regards to that. But the one thing is, guys, the one thing is that you need to overcome in trading is fear. Fear is what's holding you back. What I'm going to teach you is how to overcome that fear, how to get past the FOMO, and how to get confidence in your trading so that you can make profitable trades rather than losing trades. Guys, I've been doing this for 33 years. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rob, and for those of you who do know me, I am still Rob, and it's Coffee with Rob. All I want to speak to you about today from the heart is what's causing you to lose in the markets. What's causing you to lose confidence? What's causing your fear? If you understand this one thing, then you will become insanely profitable. And that one thing, that aha moment, and I always tell people, guys, you've got to learn from my mistakes. I'm not telling you that I'm brilliant. I'm not telling you that I'm the best trader in the world. But what I can tell you is I've made a lot of mistakes, and you can learn from those horrific, terrible mistakes that I've made in the past. And one of them was thinking that the charts and the lines are going to somehow predict the future. They're going to somehow predict where the markets are going to go. When in all truths, all they can do is provide you with a high probability trade. They can provide you with the ability to manage your risk. They can provide you with the ability to take a trade. But they cannot tell you which way the market's going to go. There isn't a chart in the world that can predict which way the market's going to go. It's a bit like going to a fortune teller with a little crystal ball and believing that they're going to tell you what's going to happen next. Well, maybe you are one of those people who believe that, in which case you can use the charts to trade because the system's not going to make you money. So many guys go out there, they go on a course, and on that course, they teach them that this system of lines and candles is going to give them a win rate, and it's going to give them an edge in the market, and they're going to beat the pros because 95% of the market's made up of pro money. And you come along, brand new trader, out of a course, out of your demo, I'm going to beat everyone, and I'm not going to be part of those looting traders because, guys, did you know that 60 to 80% of traders actually lose money in the markets? 60 to 80. I know you think you're going to be part of that 30 or 40% that's going to be winning, but you're not. And day traders, the guys that drop down to the lower time frames because they're bored, because they can't sit and be patient and wait for trades on the 4-hour charts. So, you know what? I'll start trading on the 5-minute charts because I know what I'm doing. It's not going to be any different, is it? 99% of traders lose trading on 5-minute charts and lower. And I know, once again, you think you're going to be part of that 1% that's going to win, but you're not. And the reason for that is you're not moving the market. Somebody else is moving the market. Somebody else has got the ace. Somebody else has got the edge, not you. So if you think that you're going to make an edge on lines, if you think that the lines are somehow going to predict how you're going to make money in the markets, then it's a form of insanity. The reality is you need a business plan to make money in the markets. The reality is you need to have a strategy to make money in the markets, not a squiggly line. And my strategy is in every single one of my last videos. So why not go and have a look at that and see if that strategy will somehow help you, somehow get you ahead in the profitability stakes in the stock market, trading Forex, trading crypto, whatever that might be. But what's holding you back is your fear. And how do you get around fear? How do you get around this? You see, one of the big things that hold you back besides fear is fear of missing out, FOMO. And the other thing is impatience. not being able to wait for a trade, sit in your hands, or let the trades come to you. But the best way to get over fear is this, and that is to have a strategy that you understand that you're going to lose. Now, I know when you're a new trader and you take your first trades and you get in there and you start trading, you think, I'm losing $1, and you start sweating and you start thinking, oh, I'm losing money. I understand that. I totally understand that feeling. You'll get over that. Somebody asked me in the live show the other day, how do you know if you're a conservative trader or an aggressive trader? How do you know where to go? This takes time. It takes time. Over time, you trade. You take lots of trades. And during those trades, you sort of learn where your limit is. Where am I comfortable with loss? How much loss am I comfortable with? How much risk am I comfortable with? How risque am I when I'm taking my trades? And you'll find that balance. You'll find that happy balance. I'm a happy trader where I'm so aggressive. I want to trade on the 1 minute charts and I just want to take trades whenever I feel like it. And I'm a high stakes trader. Or I'm very conservative and I like to take my trades a little bit slower. And I like to take my trades as and when I see necessary. And when I see that they've confirmed, I like them to break and retest. I don't just take them on the break. I'm an extremely conservative trader. And then you kind of figure out where your balance is. But that's not what gets you over the fear. Once you've found your balance and you understand that you're going to take losses in the market, then you also understand that you need a plan, you need a business plan. And the plan is simple. Once you understand that you are going to take losses, then you understand the coin flip, the coin toss. If I flip a coin 10 times, there's a good chance it'll land on heads 5 times, a good chance it'll land on tails 5 times. But if I told you get 2 for heads and 1 for tails, everyone will choose heads because the odds are in your favor. That's just how it works. And once you understand that you need to make more on your wins and lose less on your losses, then suddenly this becomes more realistic as well. Because what actually happens is in the beginning, you'll put up a tiny loss amount. You'll say, I'm only prepared to lose $50. I don't want to lose thousands of dollars, so I'm only prepared to lose $50. So you'll put that risk down and you'll say, that's all I'm prepared to lose. And then you'll lose that a couple of times and you'll feel the pain and you'll be worried about it. And then you'll take a bigger win and you'll see, I actually won $300 and I only lost $150 on those 3 trades. So I'm actually in profit and I'm doing quite well here. And once that aha moment starts to kick in, the amount of loss that you take or the amount of risk that you take suddenly doesn't start to matter that much. You see, it's all dependent on the size of your account. So if you've got a huge account, $1 million, and you want to risk $10,000 per trade, then you can. Because it doesn't matter, because you know you're going to lose $10,000, but you're going to make $30,000. When you lose that $10,000, you accept it, you win the $30,000. Guess what? You're $20,000 in profit, and it all makes sense to you. But how do you do that? It's really simple. The strategy is simple. All you got to do is only risk the same amount on every single trade. Now, some of you will want to risk more. Some of you will want to risk less. Like I said, you're going to find that risk threshold, that balance in your mentality and your fear. Once you've found that balance and you've taught yourself to understand that you are going to take losses, then you can decide, look, I want to risk 1% of my account. I want to risk 2% of my account. I want to risk 0.5% of my account, whatever the size of your account is. Now, let's say you have a $25,000 account. You're going to risk $250 per trade with 1%. If you lose 10 trades in a row, you lose 10% of your account. 10% of your account is a lot. In leverage trading, it can break you and it can hurt you. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your risk threshold, because you are going to take losses, and losses are going to cause drawdown, as they call it. In other words, if you lost your first 3 trades, you would be 3 trades down and you would be $750 in loss. You're in drawdown. But what you need is for that 4th trade to win big. And if it does, then suddenly that drawdown is negated. And you're either in profit or at a break even again. And the next one wins and then you're way in profit. So you've got to be able to accept that drawdown that you are sitting with, that you are in. Once you understand that you have to accept that drawdown, the fear goes away a little bit, because now you have an understanding that somewhere down the line you're going to have the win and you're going to have the big profit. You're going to let it run because you're risking 1% every single trade. So you know what your risk is. You know that every single trade is costing you $250 if it loses, or less, because you can get out sooner if you want to. Just don't make it more. You choose your stop loss by looking at the trade and looking for an area where you know the trade will be invalid. I'm sick of hearing people saying, I want a tight stop loss, I want a fast stop loss. It doesn't work like that, guys. Look for an area where you know the trade won't work anymore. That's what you're looking for, nothing else. Then take the trade there. And then make sure that the trade can provide you with more money than you're risking. In other words, it's a form of insanity to be targeting a $50 profit if you're risking $250, don't you think? Don't you think it would be better to be targeting a higher amount than what you're risking? So what you want to do is make more on the win. So I don't say you have to make it 2-to-1 and it has to be a $500. What I say, or $500 profit, what I say is take a look at the trade and say, can this trade make me more than $250? Look at the trade for what it is. And if you can make 400, 450, 350, that's fine. You're making a profit. You're only risking 250 on every trade. If you start making 350 on every trade, you're actually making a profit. So it's okay. It's okay to do that. Once the trade is in a decent profit, you take your stop loss and simply move it up to cost, and it's costing you nothing. Suddenly that becomes a free trade and your risk is averted. You see, you take the fear out of it. Once you learn that you are going to lose trades and you have a strategy in place to manage those trades, then suddenly the fear goes away. You know, it's a bit like if you start a business. If you were to start a business today, you wouldn't do it without a business plan or without a strategy. You would most certainly have a strategy in place for your business. You would want to know what type of business you're going to start, how much profit it's going to make, how much money you're going to need for that trade or for that business. But you don't do it when you're trading. When you're trading, you just sort of jump in both feet and hope for the best and hope that you're going to somehow make a profit. You need to have a plan and you need to know where you're going. And that takes away the fear. Because now you have a plan, you know what the end game is, so that negates that fear. I know in the beginning when you start seeing red and you start seeing losses, it will affect you and it will give you that sort of, oh my goodness, I'm losing feeling. But if you can get past that and you can get over that and you can learn from the mistakes that I made in the past where I thought that the charts were going to make me the money, and then I realized that it's not that makes you the money, it's actually the strategy behind the whole game. The charts just give you the high probability trade, guys. They give you the ability to manage that trade. They give you the ability to manage that risk. But what you need is a strategy to make the profit, and that's what I've given you now. That's what you've got to use to make your profit. So yeah, it didn't turn out to be the shortest video I've ever made. It's actually not that bad. It's just right for you. It's not too long and it's not too short. But it's not just about fear, guys. It's about fear of missing out. It's about being able to be patient, sit in your hands. Don't chase trades. Let the trades come to you. I know it's difficult to sit there all day and wait for trades that are not coming to you, or to try and make money, because you need to make money, right? You need to make money now. You can't wait. It's impatient and there's nothing to do. And trading is boring. And if it's not boring and if it's exciting and it's like, oh, I'm busy, then something might be wrong. It needs to, it's fun. I love trading. Trading is addictive. You get addicted to trading. But bear in mind that it does need to be a straightforward thing. And you have to be patient with it. If you start getting impatient with it, it's going to bite you and it's going to take your money, because that's what it does. Learn to understand that you're not trading against lines. You're trading against other human beings. So you're trading, you're buying and selling, you're buying and selling. It's like walking into a business and you want to buy something and you want to trade and you want to negotiate the price. It's the same in trading. You're negotiating and you're buying and selling from other human beings. That guy's selling because he thinks it's a good time to sell. You're buying because you think it's a good time to buy. And that's what makes a market. Simple as that. Hope that helps you guys. Guys, don't forget to join the members area. Members area will give you loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of good perks and information. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's like super important. Like, comment, and subscribe, because we're heading for the big amount of subscribers. The channel has crossed a good threshold, and we're building a fantastic community together. Join us for the live shows every Tuesday and Thursday, where we have loads of fun together. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch the last videos, which will give you lots of information on that strategy, and you can go over it again and again and again and again. You know, like I said, training's boring. You need to figure this out. But thanks for watching, guys. Till the next one, keep your feet on the ground, reach for the sky. Cheers, ciao, and bye.